And now we have the owner, when we were talking about before about extreme tours, one of the things that I was talking about, I had the privilege and honor of going on a tour of a day in the West, and John Bradshaw is here to talk about it. He's in the studio. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. I really loved that tour. It was just the bumpiest tour I've ever had, and the driver was just so friendly and educated.
Hey, you know, we're all about a day in the West. You know, we've got different tours for different people, and when we tell you we're going to give you an adrenaline rush, we try to deliver that promise and give it to you.
Well, I mean, everything was perfect, right from the setup of the appointment, right through a follow-up and a confirmation that the tour was being taken, right down to the tour, and a follow-up even after that. So, I mean, it literally exceeded expectations in comparison to other Jeep tours that I will not disclose on the show right now, because they all literally fail in comparison.
Well, thank you very much. That means a lot. You know, we have, as a family, been in the tour business since 1949, so we're the oldest continually owned family tour business in Sedona.
And that really says something. I mean, consistency is success. I mean, when you've been doing something right, there's not saying that you're old-fashioned, because you evolve as the times and people do as well. And I remember moving here 6 years ago, and there was a little stop on some of the tours. You even had personally overcome those barriers as well.
Yeah, you know, it's been a really rough business. As a matter of fact, I've often thought to write a book, The Jeep Tour Wars, because we really have, you know, got into it a little bit. But, you know, it's kind of, this last 6 months or so really kind of leveled out, and things are going much better to where, you know, the Jeep Tour companies are all working together. There's a new spirit of cooperation, and the Forest Service has just been great. The new leadership of the Forest Service is really great to work with. They really care about the Forest Service, and they also care about how it interacts with the public and with the private enterprises, and they really do a good job making that work.
So you could say the forest was trying to branch out to the public?
Absolutely. That's it.
Without telling us to leave? No, I'm only kidding. Now, you offer several different tours.
Absolutely.
About how many different tours would you say you offer?
Well, you know, I've always tried to keep my selections somewhat limited, so that there would be one choice for every kind of tourist, whether it's someone that wants to relax and rejuvenate, someone that wants to have an adrenaline rush, if it's someone that wants to go out and get a photographic opportunity, or doing some combo tours, some winery combos and stuff. So we've got around 5 or 6 different selections that kind of pinpoint a different segment of the population. I'd say one of our most popular tours, however, is the Complete Western Experience, which is a Jeep tour that's a really fun Jeep tour. That's scenic and has some good information, so it's a well-rounded tour. They do an hour-and-a-half horseback ride, and they end up at the Blazing M Ranch for a dinner.
And that's all with the steaks, right?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. They do a good job down there at Blazing M.
Well, also another thing that separates you from the other Jeep tour companies is when you want to speak to the owner, you know, you're not going to get him, and you're right there, and you're very involved with the city and very committed, and you really spread yourself thin, but you still find room to talk to each customer that really wants more information, and that's literally what separates you from everyone else.
That's a good point. I've always said what makes a really good company is not how you handle your business on a day-to-day operation, but when a problem does happen, how do you deal with that problem? And I make sure that I get involved. If there's an issue that needs to be addressed, and I don't have one of my employees do it, I actually get involved on a personal level to make sure that that issue gets resolved, and gets resolved to where the guest has a great experience.
And they see problems, you see opportunities.
Absolutely. That makes a stronger company when you can turn a problem around and turn it into a good opportunity for you to let people know that you're there and you got their back, and no matter what happens, they're going to have a good experience.
And it's not about getting a customer, it's about getting a loyal client that come in day after day. I want to thank you very much. Why don't you tell everyone your website, please?
Well, it's really easy. It's a dayinthewest.com.
And your phone number?
It's 928-282-4320.
That was John Bradshaw from A Day in the West. We're going to be taking a commercial break. I want to thank you very much for coming on the show today.
All right. Thank you, sir.
When we come back, we're going to have the Mago Retreat Center. So we'll see you back in 2 and 2. Ciao.